Mm-mm. Hey, late night chat. What's up? My name is Diamond Styles, and I go live every Friday. But today is Saturday, and it's 12, and I'm bored, and I want to chat about a memory that last night chat brought up for me. Mm. How are y'all doing? It's Saturday, and I just got through watching The Power, which, if y'all haven't gotten to that show, it's really good. I love The Power. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Andre. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to tell y'all this story about my friend Monique. Her real name ain't Monique, but we're gonna call her Monique in honor of Monique Special. Hey, Lena. This Twix cookie dough ice cream is so good. I love it. It does nothing for your weight loss if you're trying to lose weight, but it does something to your spirit. And your spirit matters too. All right, so this story, should I give some time for people to come in? Oh no, this late night. Folks will sleep, so y'all probably gonna be the ones. Anyway, this story is from high school. And this story is about the first time that I had like a threesome situation. First time that I had a um not a threesome situation as in three people, but like a threesome situation in regards to like a dude and a girl, a sister and a girl. This is that story. Come on, late night shift. So, hey Marissa. So, when I was in school, high school, junior high too, my first year of junior high, I come from the time of I don't know what y'all how y'all before college school is set up, but when I was growing up, the grades went elementary went through kindergarten all the way to sixth grade, and then middle school is seventh, eighth, and then high school is 9, 10, 11, 12. But when I something happened when I was something happened in Indianapolis public school system in between the time that I was in when I went to 7th grade. 6th grade started to be in middle school. I don't know why they made this change, but for some reason they made a change. So 6th grade was in elementary for me, but once I went to 7th grade, 6th graders was in middle school with me. Does that make sense? I don't know what the shift was. So instead of it being 2 grades in middle school, it was 3. So this is also when I also politically, because I was too young to know what was going on, I don't know what was happening politically in a city that was making stuff change, but they introduced this magnet program. And magnet program is each school in the school district had a particular type of focus. It could be science, it could be liberal arts, it could be um, technology, it could be, I don't know, just a various things. So the only things I was interested in was liberal arts because, I'm a queen. I'm a agate. At the time when I was a kid, I'm like, I want to do all the gay stuff. Not the gay stuff for real, but all the stuff that was, the queens was into the arts, dance, and the visual arts and all that kind of stuff. So I applied to go to the school that that was for the arts. Like the school that was for the arts in our district was Broad Ripple. So I applied to go to Broad Ripple. I did not get accepted into Broad Ripple, even though a lot of my friends did. So I had to go to Arlington. Arlington was more they were more sciences, which was okay because I was good at sciences, but I was just going to a school that didn't have any focus that I wanted to be focused on. But it actually was perfect for me because it was also the hood school that the people that came to this school was from the hood that I grew up in. So I grew up on this street called 42nd and Post, which is the hood neighborhood will call it Photos. I grew up in Photos, or my family, I didn't grow up there, but a lot of my family is connected to a hood called Brightwood. So Brightwood is like it's on the east side, but it's like anybody from Indianapolis. I don't know why I'm explaining this to y'all, but yes, Brightwood is like another hood. So two hoods that I'm connected to, everybody went to this school. So it helped me in a way that motherfuckers knew my family, and then people who grew up with me knew that I twirls. So don't play too much. It didn't stop me from getting through, didn't stop me from fighting, but it gave people a warning that that motherfucker will fight you because it's people who I done beat up since elementary. So be careful with how you play with that one. So that kind of helped me in the sense of not getting too much. I won't say it alleviated the bullies, but I didn't get too much. Just, it usually was hype the freshman year. Not the freshman year, the first couple of months of school every year when there was new people coming in before they got the warning, that's when it was the most likely for me to get in a fight. Usually in the beginning of the year where somebody is trying to be tough and trying to use me to get their cool points, and I had to beat their ass. I had to fight twice in well, 3 times, but in actual school hours, my freshman year and my junior year. So anyway, so I ended up going to Arlington. Arlington, I don't know. It just it was, I didn't know at the time, but it was a perfect place for me to be because it was hood, but it also was ghetto fabulous. So hood, but people who come to this school also, the areas that they're coming from also can be very, 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 very black middle class too. So, or upper working class. Like, so there are kids who come to this school. There's some kids that come to the school, honey, they fly as fuck. Like they always got the new Jordans. They always got something, they got Louis Vuitton, they got Gucci on, they got Coogee at the time Coogee was popping. Coogee, they got all the fly shit on. So we was known as the school that if you come to this school, these people is fly. Even though it's the black school, but it's the black fly ass school of the city. So that was kind of the kind of chemistry of the city, the school that I was in, which made it perfect for me because I love being fly. I love twirling. So you will have a fight after school, you will have fashion shows. You don't know. You don't know what it could be in my school. So I loved my school. I love my high school. So it sounds like a high school. Yes. So we come to, and also, so like there was a high school called Northwest. Northwest is where all like the motherfuckers that wanted to be hood. Like our school was hood. Like you can tell people was hood at our school, like from the real hoods. Northwest, you got some people that from the hood because that's the West Side School. You got some people like from Hallville and from that, but a lot of time them niggas over there be trying to gang bang, but they not really hood. Like my little brother, not my youngest brother, but my middle one, he grew up in Anderson, Indiana, and that's like bougie white. That's where the black people move when they want to feel fancy and buy a house, and it's an affordable house. It's not the rich people area like Geist, but it's like you know, we moved to the suburbs, but it ain't no sickening suburbs. It's like it's just out of the city. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The kind of middle class people that think they done bought them a cheap ass subdivision house for 150K or 100, something that looked like every house on the block. Nothing sickening, but they feel sickening because they don't live in the city no more. That kind of black folks. So he lived out there. So he ain't hood at all, but he will act like he hood. That's the type of niggas that will be going to Southwest. Arlington, real hood niggas sell dope. Honey, freshmen got baller cars. chicks got sugar daddies coming and pick them up for lunch. Real bougie. It's like a bougie hood ghetto school. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, I'm just giving y'all the details of what's going on. Atlanta got a lot of neighborhoods that have people feeling well off. Yes, those kind of neighborhoods where no, they not in the hood, but girl, you ain't far from it. You get a mansion for hella cheap. Yeah, and not even a mansion, some little stupid ass thing. So anyway, when I get to school, every school I go to, I meet like one or two cis girls that I just connect with, and it just is fun. Now, there are cis girls who are authentically cool with you, like y'all just got a natural connection and it's authentic. And then there's that cis girl that's kind of like, all right, Miss Thing. Yes, honey. That kind of cis girl where she's just so extra just because she, she clocking your tea, and there's a lot of moments like if you hang with her, there's gonna be a lot of moments where she ain't laughing with you. She laughing at you with the trade too. Like it's that kind of weird. Um, she playing like your friend, and she might be cool, but it's a lot of times she'll be laughing with the niggas and just adding fuel to the fire. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about, the type of chick that I'm talking about. Where she just she's the type of chick that'll say, leave him alone. He ain't messing with nobody. After you done told her your pronouns. She'll tell the trade, leave him alone. He ain't even messing with nobody. And you gotta look at her like, Miss C, you tried it. Or she'll say, she the type that'll say, usually when she get older, this will be the type of girl that'll say, right. He used she and her pronouns. That exact kind of woman. But young. And usually when they get older, they'll be the type of girl that say, you know, I don't condone that lifestyle, but I feel like everybody should be treated fairly. So that's been my friend since we were in junior high. I known you before you was transitioned when your name was dead name. I remember that person. So I go way back. Even though she met you and you had transitioned, but it was just early. She's that type of girl. So it's various type of girls that you'll be friends with. So there was this girl. Her name was, what am I gonna name her? The story is about Monique, but there's another girl. So there was this girl. Let's call Jada, Marquita, and Shauna. Jada, Marquita, and Shauna. We gonna that's the three ladies outside of Monique. So Marquita is a type of girl who she don't really like you. She don't really like you in the sense of um almost not in it's not a hate. It's not a hate. It's not a dislike. I don't know what it is. It's like because you are this outlier as far as like being a queen, you almost like your existence annoys her because it's like you always doing too much for her. No matter what you're doing, you always doing too much for her. She's not gonna call you any names. She's not gonna be bullying you because it's almost like she doesn't really care and wish you don't exist. But when you around, she's like, because you're taking attention away from her. That's what it is. When you come in the room, she was working the room, but now you come in the room, and just because you a queen, you shaking the room up. And she's like, oh, you're always doing too much. You're always that. She's this type of girl. Okay. Very she could be mean too. So I'm trying to give y'all the vibe. She could be mean too, but not like calling you names, not like calling you an F word or a F bomb word. Nothing like that. It's just very, very Regina James. Regina, what's the girl name on what's the show called with Lindsay Lohan? Regina George. Very Regina George, like you can't sit with us. Um Jada You don't like her. Jada's the one that's gonna call you a F word. Jada's the one that's gonna be laughing at you with the queens, with the boys when you walk past. Jada, you just don't like her. Now, all of these girls, when I got grown, they like hit me up online or contacted me in some kind of way, and they all think in their brain that we were the best of friends. And I don't know why. They will slide in my all of them have slid in my DMs and said something of the nature, "Oh my God, we were so cool." And in my brain, I'm like, no, we wasn't. What are you talking about? As a matter of fact, I'm about to read the message to y'all right now. All right, so this is Marquita's message, and these is aliases, just so y'all know, because I know people watch me from my high school, so I don't want to be that messy or start some shit that don't need to be nothing. But I'm telling this story. I, I hate when people try to act like we are the buddy buddy, and this shit is like. So she sends me a message, and she says, "Oh my God, gorgeous as always. I admired the young you." Now this is the girl that I said act like my existence was annoying her. Anytime I was around, she act like my existence. She wouldn't call me no names, but maybe be rude, or she was rude sometimes, but it was more uh, uh like that. Bougie. Cause first of all, let me back up and tell you, first of all, the bitch is sickening. I want to say that. She is sickening. She is fly. She is beautiful. She got long ass hair. She always got her nails done. She is sickening. Like every what I like in regards to, she's just fly. Always got some kind of a style. She ain't just mimicking whatever the trends are. She's doing her own style. She's pretty. She got long hair. She's feminine. She's just dope. So if she wasn't a bitch to me, I would actually really like her. But because she was like that, I never even tried to get close to her. So anyway, this is her message to me. Gorgeous as always. I admire the young you. You educated me and you were kind to me. Such a brave soul. I know the grown you is on another level. So I message her back and I say, wow. Because I'm like, oh, it came out of the blue because this is not our relationship. I don't know what I taught her. I don't know. I didn't know we had any of these moments. What? Actually, the memory, the fondest, is it fond? Is that the right word? I don't know if it's the fondest, but yeah, it's the fondest memory because she was one of them girls that I actually liked. Like I don't want to say it ain't look up to because we were the same age. She just was a girl that I thought if she said, like, you know how I keep trying, I'm doing good. I haven't said fish. I'm doing good. You know how when you meet the cis girls and they try to be funny and be like, you want to be me. You just trying to mimic me. If she said it, it would fit. Very few women who say that do I want to be like them. I'm like, you is ill built, ugly, and and tired. What? Why would you think I want to be you? Most girls who say that I don't want to be them. I'm like, you are you are nowhere near where I want to be. But her, if she said it, it would be kind of fitting because she was the kind of girl that I would want to be. Like if I was gonna be one. she's it. So yeah, so she said it, boom. So when I had sued my high school, right? And I won. When I went back to school to graduate, like, cause I had graduated way early, so I didn't have to go to last semester of school. So when it was time for us to walk and we to do our cap and gown and all that kind of stuff, it was this big hoopla because I had beat them. I had won the case. So when I walk into the auditorium for graduation, all the parents is like, woo, screaming, and the students and everybody is like giving me like love because the parents was on my side. And so when even though I didn't have, I want y'all to, I think I told y'all this, I didn't have any in the Pisces video. I think I told y'all about that in the Pisces season video. Um, I Nobody came to my graduation. And so this was all a surprise. I didn't know anybody was going to be screaming for me or saying anything. And that had happened like a month before. The Soon to School had happened like a month before. So I didn't know this was about to happen. So when I walk in the room, everybody, you know, even though I was fly, even though the principal was trying to still bully me, I was fly. And this is the girl, I think I told it in the story, but this is the girl who she wasn't the valedictorian, but she was one of them. You know how there was like a valedictorian, then a salutatorian, and she was just one of the people who was up there. So she just had really, really good grades. So this is why she was one of the girls that I was like, oh, you sickening. She had good grades. She's fine. She stylish, all that kind of stuff. So when I walked past her, when that all had happened, she said to me, look at you. You always taking the attention. You are always taking the attention. You took the attention to prom. You took the attention. Now you're taking the attention now. So for her, she always reminded me that I was taking attention. Even when it wasn't my intention. But she always said something. I would always annoyed her. I always annoyed her by taking attention away from her, even if it wasn't my attention. So anyway, so I gagged. I feel like that there's a perceived self-assurance that openly queer kids can have that might make other kids feel both jealous and in awe. I agree. I totally agree, Lindsay. Totally agree. So I say, when she says all of that, I respond to her and I say, wow, thank you. I never would have known that. I appreciate it. When I was younger, I loved and hated you. I loved you because you were thick and fly. Your hair was always cute. Your nails always done. Just everything on point. I loved it. But you were always disgusted by me and my queerness. You would turn your nose up at me, say little shady shit to other people. You got nicer as we got older, but still a little standoffish and weird, and just like I annoyed you and like I disgusted you. I think the first time you said something cool to me directly was graduation when you jokingly said, dang, look at you taking the attention like you did for prom. Do you got to take the attention at graduation too? That was funny. And I put a smiley face. And she says her response to this, because this is our first time talking since high school. So I laid that all out on her, like, because I didn't understand, not being shady, but I also didn't want to respond in a fake way either. She was like, wait, what? We talked all the time in Miss Jordan's class, one-on-one. So I don't recall being funky to your face or behind your back. You invited us to your apartment, and I thought it was fly. You could do all of that on your own at such a young age. But hey, I apologize, and I understand I was young going through it too. I definitely don't remember any of that. But I'm glad my mom and my granny I was just glad my mom and my granny was seeing me graduate. But that's odd to me. I don't recall this. I would have never even engaged. It doesn't seem like my personality. I said, Well, that's how I remember it. You were always standoffish and you were always kind of annoyed by my presence. I said, but yeah, I just hucked it up as we just was being young. And no big deal. And she was like, I sincerely apologize for any unwarranted, unkind behavior. At any age, it's unacceptable, and I apologize. I said, don't worry about it. I was going through too much too, but it's all good. We're grown. We was kids, and she was like, high school was. She was so she says high school was somewhat grown. We knew better, and I was like a little bit, but I'm trying to give her some grace. She was like, you did. She was like, but I love it. I loved you because you didn't sugarcoat shit. You wasn't. I wasn't used to that. But thanks for being straight up, even to this day. Thanks for being straight up on how you felt. I love that, and that's all dope. I love that. That's who I am too. So it ain't nothing but love over here. And I said, trust me, college was the same, was way worse than high school. Because she was talking about we was in high school. I said, college was way worse than high school. And that shit was crazy. But that prepared me for college. And she says, oh, so one thing about her, like she was one of those girls who was like, I told you, she wasn't the valedictorian, but she was like whatever those titles, salutatorian. I don't know what those titles are because I wasn't none of that. But she was somewhere in that ranking where she was one of the top students when we graduated. And she was one of them students that was trying to be a part of everything, like trying to be the president of the 4-H club, the school newspaper editor. She always was trying to do stuff. She was just like an overachiever type of girl. And so one time she had thrown a talent show and charged everybody a certain amount, and somebody stole the money. She was raising money for one of the clubs that she was in, and it was a big ass success because she was popular. Remember I told you, not only was she super smart and like studious, she was fly. So she was the cool kid for in the nerd sector and in the in crowd sector. She was cool wherever she went. She was a cool girl. She was just that. And so she but ironically I was too. Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of why we kind of was always in each other's peripheral, in each other's circle, because while my queerness was something that put me on the outside, because I was cool and because I had good grades and I was fly and I had a cool personality, you could not. I was popular. Everybody knew who the fuck I was. And there was a similarity to us. Anyway. Um, so somebody had stole the money from she had a talent show. She put together a talent show, sold tickets for it to raise funds. It all worked out. Like she organized it, she set a time, got the talent. She did everything, high schooler, and it worked out. And somebody stole the money, gagged her, and she was like, "They hated me because they stole that money I raised for the talent show." And I questioned them. Not the students, the teachers. Not the students. This is a ghetto ass school. Not the students. The students that steal the money. There's teachers. And so she had worked her ass off, and it was crazy. So anyway, she's one of these people. So anyway, I'm in a class where we are all Miss Jordan's class. She just mentioned that, Miss Jordan. So I'm in a class, and Jada, the shady one, not her, but the real shady one, Jada's being funny. So I say something smart to Jada. Back to Jada. I don't say something, she says something to me, and I say something back to her about her hair. Something reading her that was real. Because Jada was the type of girl who didn't have no money. She was just a ghetto girl. Didn't have no money, didn't have no style. but she had a loud, boisterous personality, so people kind of liked her. But honey, she's the type of bitch who had this much hair and will clip a ponytail on it, and you can see the ponytail her hair don't even get close to getting connected to the ponytail, and it don't match the texture at all. Baby, you have some 4C relaxed hair, baby. That is some yaki, baby. You need some yaki, and you got this silky synthetic Asian that don't look nothing like your hair. So I get to reading her about her hair. And so everything gets hype. Everything get hype, but Marquita, remember, she's like a studious, good student. She want to do. There's some kind of activity that we all want to do, and if we get in trouble, we won't be able to do it. So me and Jada getting hype at the wrong time for her. Because if we get into it, it's gonna ruin it's not a field trip, but it's something we get to do. But as the outsider kind of queer person, I'm not gonna enjoy this shit anyway. So I don't really give a fuck. I ain't gotta do nothing. I can go home. Also, I have my own apartment. I can go home, like literally go home and have fun with and be gay and marry. So at this point in our school situation, I'm really kind of grown, which is why she said I would bring them over her house because I was a high school student with my own apartment. Sometimes my friends would come over and smoke, like because they couldn't smoke at their parents' house, they couldn't smoke in school, so they could come to my house and smoke. They could come to my house if they want to do some hooking up. It's so much stuff that can happen. So anyway, Monique, let me tell you about Monique. So Monique is in this class, and Monique, now I'm not really close to Monique at all, but when I'm getting into it with Jada, Monique says, I don't know why you are the one that keeps having basically Monique defends me. In this moment, Monique defends me. And Monique says, this whole time you've been talking shit about her. And motherfucker, she ain't said nothing. And then she finally say something to you and you got an attitude. Like this whole time you have been talking shit about her. And now you got everybody talking shit about her to mess up the little thing we about to do. But you the problem. And I'm looking like, exactly. But this is the first time that Monique, now I've been knowing Monique, but Monique is like, I know Monique, but we haven't like connected. I know her, but we haven't connected. So this is the first time that we actually had a moment where we were connecting. Like I'm like, oh. And so after that moment, she meets when the bell ring and we're going to do whatever, everything calmed down. So we end up going to have to do the fun stuff that we've got to do. On the way to the little situation, me and Monique is in the hallway, and Monique was basically, we was kikiing about the situation. Yeah, that bitch always got something to say. I hate her. You know, Monique is saying that. That bitch always got something to say. She always run her motherfucking mouth. And I remember when we was in middle school, she had got beat up by this big girl, and She was cheesing the big girl because she was fat, and the big girl beat her up. And she came to us. Now she doesn't come to Arlington thinking she tough because she ain't got beat up yet. And So I was like, yeah, and I'll be the one to beat her up. I hope she don't think that I'm not the person that won't beat her up. That's not me. So I said I'll do it like I did Pebbles, because I had gotten in a fight with everybody. I got in a fight with was cis het men, except for one person. This girl named Pebbles in my sophomore year. Got in a fight with Pebbles, but I had gotten in a fight with Pebbles twice. I got expelled. I got expelled for stabbing Pebbles in her neck in 8th grade. I got expelled and went to alternative school in 8th grade. That's a whole other story. I think I told that story, but that's a whole other story. And she went to Arlington. And so that was my 8th grade year. 9th grade year, she didn't go to Arlington, but she came to Arlington my sophomore year, so 10th grade. And me and Kiever is my cousin Kiever, which is Kiki Wyatt's brother, Kiever Wyatt. She got into it with Kiever, and something happened, and I had to beat her up too. So it was just not jumped her, but another situation where she had got him expelled and was talking shit, and then it was just a whole other situation. I was like, bitch, I will wear you out. Anyway, so I was like, I'll do her like I did Pebbles, baby. Wear her out. Don't play with me. Anyway, so me and Monique started to get real cool. So Monique would start coming over my house. We would start hanging out. We would sit together in the cafeteria. We just start being cool. We would go, because sometimes during like our different breaks, we can sneak off campus and go buy food at this place called Devington Plaza. So we just started getting close. So I was getting close with Monique. Then there was this, I was about to call her Butch Queen. When I met her, she was a Butch Queen, but by this time of the story, she was trans. So just like 2 years younger than me. Her name was Dominique. So Dominique, Don was just a young trans girl who, not at this time, but early in our high school years, she was just a young trans girl who just couldn't get out of her Butch Queen ways. And so she would be doing this kind of weird stuff with her Butch Queen friends not with her Butch Queen friend, with her cisgender friends. And it would be a situation where I could tell that they're laughing at you, baby. They're not laughing with you. So one time I had to yoke her up, like not yoke her up, but kind of snatch her up and bring her in the hallway and say, them girls is making you do all of that in front of the boys so that boys can laugh at you. Like, I don't know if you're clocking it. They're not doing it because they cool with you or like you. Because she would be around chicks that would make her do the splits and dance and flounce and be all gay, 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 gay. And they're doing it. You can tell they're doing it intentionally to make the straight boys laugh. And I'm like, they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. You need to clock this because you are their jester. Like, you are really, you need to clock this. I need you to grow up right now. I'm the older girl. So I'm trying to get you to pay attention. And she started paying attention. Because with me, I've always had a bougie air about me. She didn't get close to me because, she thought I was acting bougie. But I act bougie because I'm not about to be the clown either for them. So once I pulled her to the side, she, it gave her an inkling that I was cool. And so she started hanging with me. She started being cool with me. So her and Monique used to come to my house together because they lived close to each other. Because they don't have personalities and can't keep a man attention. So they live in my old hood, Fodu's. And so because they lived in that area, they would catch the bus to my house because they can get off on one bus, each bus take them directly to me. And so they would come to my house together, blah, 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 blah. So pause, scooch over to this other girl. The other girl is Trina. Trina is a basketball stud lesbian. Trina is one of those lesbians that always got their hair in a low ponytail. They got relaxed hair, Only time you will see they relaxed hair is it's if they just got a fresh perm. Then they gonna have a bust down the middle, and it's gonna be like just a doobie wrap. It ain't never gonna be like a roller wrap. It's gonna be like a doobie, just a long, straight, blunt cut. But if they ain't got no fresh, if they ain't got no fresh relaxer, it's gonna be in a low ponytail right here. So this is the type of stud lesbian she is. Always, never in a dress, never, always in pants, or maybe a short. She always gonna be in some Jordans and some t-shirt, just that kind of masculine stud lesbian. But when I met her, she ain't never been with no woman, but you can tell that she's a lesbian. Like you can tell, like it's a vibe. And so Trina started me and Trina started getting cool. Like so I also think that Trina wanted to fuck me too. That I think there's a vibe there too. So cause she would always play like that. It was some weird shit going on. And so, but I wasn't nowhere near that advanced or open. I used to be like, girl, stop playing. Wrong tree. Wrong, barking up the wrong tree. Ain't no branches here for you. So now Trina lived 2 blocks down from me. Same street, 2 blocks down. Maybe 4 blocks. So one time, Monique and Dawn, the trans woman, came over, trans girl. She came over to my house. Trina came over. So it's 2 things that was happening. Trina was coming out to me, basically saying that she was a lesbian, but a lesbian that had never been with a woman, but she liked women. Monique was coming out to me saying that she liked girls and she wanted to mess with a girl, but she didn't want people to know. But she also liked boys too. So she was the first kind of like bisexual girl that I knew. And so she couldn't tell anybody, but because I was what I was, she could, she came out and told me. So I felt like I could play matchmaker because Trina's a stud. You trying to be a lesbian by a girl. Why not hook y'all up? So I tell Trina to come over when Monique is coming over. And so that for them to meet each other. Baby, everybody was coming out to me. So they can meet each other. So when they came to the house, I bring them together. So I'm like, oh, yay, this is gonna be sickening. This is gonna be love. So we got Dawn, the trans woman, me, the trans woman, the bi cis girl, and the stud lesbian cis girl. And so we all in the house, and I'm expecting Trina because Trina she's aggressive. She's very confident. She's very like a man. She just very debonair, like a nigga. That's how she always has been. So when she comes in, I'm expecting her to try to holler at Monique. But in the moment, it actually switches. Trina turns into like the damsel shy in distress girl, and Monique turns into the aggressor, like the aggressive lesbian type girl. And it turns Trina off. She really like her, but whatever happens, it just flips. I don't know what happened. It just totally flips. Trina wanted to be the more aggressive one, but she turned into shy, shy, barely want to talk, intimidated girl, and Monique turned into damn, you fine. Why you over there acting like that? Why you acting quiet? She turned into more like the nigga personality, which isn't like her. So I don't understand what just happened, but that happens. And so they don't connect in the in-person moment like I thought they would. It was like, this is corny. So Monique was hiding her Don side. Something, child. I was like, ooh, this switched. Both of them switched as far as personality wise. And so it gets real awkward and strange. So I say, why don't y'all exchange numbers and chat with each other? And see how that vibe happens. Talk on the phone and see how that goes. So Trina leaves out the house. Like, she make an excuse and gotta go. So she leaves out the house and go to her house. Remember, I told she like 4 blocks away. Soon as she get home, she calls my phone. And she was like, man, she's so beautiful. Like, I don't know, I got choked up. She's so beautiful. Man, you gotta tell her that I just was nervous and I didn't know how to respond because she came on so aggressive. And I ain't never been to with no woman like that. So I don't know. That's just so she basically saying that, please don't. I want her. I do want her. She's so beautiful and I like her and da 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 da. But try to whatever I fucked up by being all shy, please help me clean it up. I was like, you just y'all annoy me. I'm like, you mess it up. You being all weird and stupid. Okay, I'll tell her and y'all just talk and y'all figure it out. So she goes home. Trina had went home. So Monique is at my house with Don. So Monique, now mind you, Monique thought that, remember I told you people come over to my house even if they want to hook up or whatever. So Monique, this whole day, Monique is thought that she was gonna come over and hook up with Trina. She thought, ooh, I'm gonna have my first woman experience. So imagine you finally think that you about to have your first woman experience and it fizzles out. So when Trina leaves, Monique is like, what the fuck just happened? I thought I was gonna get some pussy or get my pussy ate. I thought that she thought that it was about to go down. She thought they were gonna go to the back room and do whatever. So she had got herself hyped up. Horny and hype. So so it all mess up. Monique has blue balls at this point. Yes. Blue ovaries. So Monique says, if you're listening, thumbs up. Make sure you thumbs up. Were you charging for these short stay visits? I should have. So Monique is hype and Monique is like, damn, what the fuck? This is fucked up. So this is the time when we have the hot song at the moment was I got what you want, got what you need. Can I get another shot? This time gonna make it hot. Missy Elliott and Nicole Ray. I got what you want. Ooh, that was my jam. It was the hot song of that time. I don't know when it came. Whatever this came out, that's when it was hot. That was hot. So I had bought the single and it was on repeat. So we in there dancing and having fun. It's 2 trans women and a cis woman. So next thing you know, while we dancing, I hear a knock on the door. Not on the door, on the window. So I go to the window and it's this dude. His name is Greg. Greg is straight. Greg is Me and me and Arya got this joke. So Arya done been on the show many times. Arya Saeed, one of my bestest friends. Me, her, and Brianna got this joke that you gotta be a little retarded to be a trans chaser. You gotta be a little off. Most of the dudes that's in the trans women, they a little off. That's like a little joke. They a little touched. So Greg is one of them niggas that to me, he a little touched. Like it's something wrong with his brain. But he cool to be around because he's funny and he's chill and he got a big old dick. He got a big old dick. So, but he one of them pieces of trade that he's cute, he's handsome, he's not ugly at all. He's handsome, he's always clean. Like as far as he ain't like dirty dick trade. He's like clean, but you know, he's from the hood, but he's always clean and cool. But he ain't the trade that you show off. Let's just say that. Because he a little off, he ain't the trade that you show off to a motherfucker. So if when he pop up, I don't want to say I was ashamed of him, but he just ain't the trade that's like that you like, that's me. He's a trade that's like, okay, he's just a nigga. He's just cool. He just cool. That's how he is. So he knocks on the door. He knocks on the window looking for me because I'm usually here by myself, but I got my girls here. And so he knocks, I open the door and he comes in. Now, excuse me. Now Greg is like 5'11". He like brown skin. He's cute. Like he's just nobody would say he's fine, nobody would say he's ugly. Just like his height, he is average, 5'11". Everything is average about Greg. Everything. Everything is average about him. And so he comes in and he's like, so he comes in the moment and he sees me, a cis girl, and another trans girl. And so because he's a trade, he's like, oh, I didn't know nobody was going to be here. So now this awkward moment of, are these trans women or are these cis women? Is what's happening here? Like, do I need to be like hiding? Do I need to be like, did you set me up? Like he's doing this song and dance of how am I gonna play this? Because I thought it was just gonna be you here, and soon as I walk in, it's other people. And me and him have never been in a situation with other people. And you know, this is a down low piece of trade. And so when he realized that Monique is a cis girl and she makes it very clear that she's a cis girl, why he didn't call first? Because niggas don't have no respect. Teenage niggas, 20 years, because I was 17. We all were 17. I was 17, Monique was 17, and Don wasn't 17. Don was, I want to say Don was 15. But Greg is like 26. So Greg is like 26. So 26-year-old ain't got no respect for those 17-year-old house calling before he came. That's adult, even though he wasn't an adult, but he's like 26. Yeah, if you 5'7", 5'11" is cute to me. I'm 5'11", so that's average to me. So when Greg comes in, it's two things that happening. Greg is trying to figure out who is all trans. Should he be feeling like I'm lying about being over? Because once he comes in the house, you can't lie and say you don't know me. You get what I'm saying? It's already out or whatever. And anybody who know you come to see me, know it is what it is. But also Monique, because she's a cisgender girl, she wants to make it clear that she's a cisgender girl too. So you know how they're very much, I'm a real woman. It's shade in there, but that's when you're younger, that's kind of like what happens. Like they don't know how to navigate this. So so she was like, oh no, baby, I'm a real woman. I'm a real girl. And me and Donna's like, bitch, we real girls too, bitch. So so she like so she says so we're joking about it. So once all the awkwardness all settled down, Greg is like, what y'all in here doing? So we were in there dancing, having fun to Nicole Ray. So she gets up and push play on the player, and it plays. And oh, that's a nostalgia moment. You know how you take your CD and put it in, you got to wipe it off so it can stop skipping, and you put the thing down on it, and it starts spinning. Yes, we had one of those. Old school. And so she pressed play and started dancing. And so Monique, so he started like, now mind you, this is a 26-year-old piece of trade, and now he's because he done came to see me in front of this cis girl, he is overcompensating. Sometimes the CD scratch, right? So because he's this straight boy in this space, he is overcompensating to the cis girl. Now, it's two things that's happening within me. So Monique started dancing and kind of stripping, not just tease like burlesque, but her way. Teasing to take off her clothes, not fully taking off her clothes, but teasing about it, dancing. And so she's annoying me. That's number one. He's annoying. She's not annoying me too much, but it's like, oh, you being extra. But he is annoying me more than her because he's being extra too. But I'm also a person who I never show people if I have any kind of funny moment, like that could be even perceived as jealousy, I'm very good at not showing that. So, because you'll never get that out of me. You'll never, ever get that out of me. So I'm just sitting there chilling, saying, yes, supporting her. Just, yes, wear it out. Because you'll never, ever be able to say Donna was jealous or no. I've never been that girl. Never wanted to be that girl. Never wanted to give that impression. And so I'm sitting over there, yes, bitch, work. But I am also, my sexual nature, I am turned on by people's sexual reactions. Okay? So I like people, like I'm one of them, just to give you an idea. I'm one of them people that if a dude is not making no noises or not giving me some kind of feedback, I will stop. You have to give me some kind of feedback about what's happening. You can't just lay there and be quiet. If you're doing that, I'm thinking it's garbage and I don't want to do it. So I'm done because I'm not turned on. So some dudes like try to be all acting. It could be sickening to them, and they not trying to make no noise because they pride ain't letting them make no noise. I'm the wrong girl to do that with because I will stop the session and send you home. And so I'm somebody that's into things that turn people on, like, and I can see their reaction. One of the things that opened up me to even having the idea of having a cisgender woman as a sexual partner is because I watched Real Sex and I seen the response the girls was getting to getting a pussy ate, and that response turned me on. So that gives you an idea. Even it's really about anything, like even cooking. One of the reasons why I like cooking is because I like to watch somebody enjoy my food. I like the visual of them enjoying something that I cooked. I love that. It is something that I live for. I like the response to something that I did, or if it's something sexual, I like to see them turned on by something, even if it's not me. And so in this moment with Greg and Monique, Monique is turning him on, and it's kind of turning me on that she is turning him on. Like, ooh, oh, he's getting riled up. I see, I see that big meat getting thick in them pants. She don't know yet, but I know what's in there. I know what's in there. And so Greg gets up and he gets in between Monique's legs because she's standing up stripping. And he gets in between Monique's legs with his head up under her pussy, talking about how he is going how he would eat it, and she can ride his face and da 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 da. So she's laughing like a schoolgirl because she is a schoolgirl. She's laughing like a schoolgirl and brings her leg off and around here because she was in between her legs. She bring her leg and she's still dancing. And so I say, Monique, you should let him do it. You should let him eat your pussy. Now, mind you, Monique just came off of the high. She is a bi girl. So she just came up off of, she's still on this horny high of thinking that she was just about to mess with a girl for the first time. But she likes boys too. So she likes boys too. And so she's like, that sounds like a good idea. And he says, he was like, I'll do it. And I was like, and Don, remember, it's another person, Don. Don is sitting there. Now, Don is just a shy queen. She's a trans girl, but she's just a shy trans girl. So she's just kind of sitting there. She might as well not be here because she's not saying anything. She's kind of just sitting on this one-seater love seat, this chair, and got her legs over the chair, and she just sitting. Now, Don is like 15. You know, she's a kid too, like us. And so Monique starts dancing and taking her panties all the way off. Oh. Now, mind you, at this time of my life, I have a clique of lesbian friends. So there's a whole clique of lesbians that I hang with. And so sometimes they'll come over my house and they be going at it. They be sucking coochies, dildos, and straps, and all in my house. They wearing it out. So I'm used to this kind of action, but it never has been in this type of situation with a cis dude and her. So Monique sits on the couch. And remember, I told y'all, I think Monique wants to fuck me because the way she engages with me, you know how people flirt and push the envelope and they see how far they can go? She's that person that keeps pushing, and keep pushing till you got to be like, girl, please stop. So she's that. But now in this situation with the boy involved, what is happening here? I ain't never been in this situation. That's turning me on. All of this is turning, everything that's happening in this moment is turning me on. There is a voyeuristic aspect. There is an exhibition aspect because Don is sitting there watching. So next thing you know, Monica sits back, Monique, not Monica. Monique sits back on the couch and raises, because she has this little skirt on, and she raises, she already took her panties off. She raises her skirt up and she lifts up her legs. So now her legs is back, she's back, her legs is back, and her coochie is out. Now let me give you an idea of what Monique looked like. Monique looks like Normani. Monique is beautiful. She's like a dark brown skin girl that is, she's giving Normani. She's giving like a 1990s Normani. Yeah, that's the best person that I could think. The closest. Yeah, she's like Normani. Greg looks like, just to give y'all some visuals, Greg looks like so if y'all was to Monique says she getting it in one another. Like that Denzel Washington meme. Did you and the Trey have previously? Yes, me and the Trey had previously. That's why he was coming over. You remember that video with Denzel Washington and Jamie Foxx? I'm leaving here with something. That's what Monique said. What were you given? I don't look too much different than other than I was skinny. I have pictures of myself when I was younger. I've always been a pretty girl. I look like me, bitch. Greg, so if y'all were to judge Tupac from rating him 1 to 10, what number would y'all give Tupac? Like if y'all rate how fine Tupac was 1 to 10, what would y'all rate him? I was giving Slim Diamond. I wasn't as thick as I am. I was just slim. So if you was rating Tupac and y'all was to give him a rating 0 to 10, 10 being fine, blah blah blah. So we got an 8, we got a 7, we got a 6. What else? Anybody else voting? Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, so somebody gave a 9, somebody gave an 8. So what y'all think the average is? Like a 7.5? All right, so let's say 7, 8, 7, 7.58. Okay. So if Tupac is a 7.5, Greg looks like Tupac, but take him down to a 5. Nah, take him down to a 6. He ain't nowhere. 5, 6, like a 5.5. He looks, if I said he looks like Tupac, you'd be like, I see it, but not exactly. That's what Greg's gives. Greg, take him down to like a 5, 6. That's as close as I could give him. Yeah, Greg had a body. Greg physically his physical looked like Tupac. And his face kind of looked like Tupac, except just take it down. Take it down. He had a big ass beard. He was he's a little bit lighter than Tupac. No. I'm trying to think of somebody that Greg looked like. Greg, it's like if Tupac and I'm trying to think of Tupac and if Tupac and Jim Jones could have a son, Tupac and Jim Jones, if Tupac and Jim Jones could have a son, that's what he looked like. And I'm totally not attracted to Jim Jones. Jim Jones looked eternally dusty. Jim Jones looked eternally dusty, eternally dirty. His braids, even when he get them fresh, look like they've been in his head for 6 months. Jim Jones looked dirty to me. Eternally dusty and dirty. So take Tupac and Jim Jones and make a son that looks like them, and you have Greg. He's like, except Greg doesn't look dirty. clean them up, but if they had a son, if you have muscles, I could work with it. And he had a nice body. He had a body, not a buff body, but like just a lean basketball player lean body, regular man body, not buff, but nowhere near fat. He had abs. He's just a slim dude. That mix is definitely average. Yes, he is an average dude. Right. Jim Jones does look dirty, musty, and dusty. So, but remember, we're adding the Tupac to it. And I never saw Tupac look dirty, musty, and dirty to me. So you add you take Jim Jones up, take Tupac down. Take Jim Jones up and Tupac down and create a blend, because his eyes really look like Tupac eyes. Those kind of really pretty big, full lashes eyes. But he had that kind of rough beard, cleaned up though. Yeah. He's regular with nice features. Yes, that's exactly. You're not gonna say he's ugly, and you're not gonna say he's super fine. He is just a regular average dude. I don't like Jim Jones. I met Greg on the chat line. No, Greg didn't bust me down, but I gobbled that meat. So I'm a teenager. So I lose my virginity when I was 16, and I didn't have sex again until I was 18. So between 16 and 18, I was sucking a lot of meats. I wasn't actually getting plunged. Plus, Greg's meat looks like this. It's like I don't know if y'all can tell how big this is. It's thick, and it reminded me of a beer can. It reminded me of, it was one at the time, it was one of the fattest meats that I have ever seen. It was literally, his piece looked like this. So he definitely wasn't putting it in me. Definitely wasn't putting that in me. It was cut. So regular looking, retarded looking, try. Yes. That's exactly what Greg gave. Jim Jones, Tupac hybrid. So okay, so Monique, let's go back to the story. So Monique looked like Armani. Normani. Is it Normani or Normandy? How you say her name? Normani. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Monique give Normani. Greg give like this average, because Monique is pretty. Monique is beautiful. Monique is she's Normani without no money. So, but very beautiful chocolate girl, body exactly like Normani, gorgeous body, because she's a 17-year-old girl. No kids. She's just a gorgeous body. She had a booty. She had little cute little bee sting titties. She's normal Normani. Yeah, she's not glamazon Normani. She is like Normani when she ain't got no makeup on. So yes, so she has her legs kicked back. So I sit on the seat next to her, because she's on the couch with her legs open, coochie out. I sit on the couch next to her, and little young titties, not like, these is grown woman titties, honey. She had the little, the titties that still sit up real high. bee stings, child. Little bee cups. She ain't had no children. She ain't, honey, gravity ain't hit them. None of that. She is in her youthful. She's a 17. She's R. Kelly prime. Shit. In this moment, Greg is R. Kelly, except he's not seducing us or tricking us. Because Greg is 26 years old. Greg is not our age. So Beyonce titties in the 90s. Exactly. Little Chi-Chi's with the aunties. Yes, little Chi-Chi's. Yes. So so Greg said, Greg's like, so what we about to do? And I was like, you said you was gonna eat her pussy, so come over here and eat her pussy. And Monique started laughing. Because Monique is like, you thought I cocked these legs up for nothing? Now Monique done been fucking. She done been got her. She done been fucked. She done got some dick. She had been not been a virgin. So Greg take off his jacket. So this whole time he ain't took his jacket off. So he take off his jacket. He gets all comfortable and he start eating Monique's coochie. So this moves Monique to pull down my shirt because I'm sitting next to her and start sucking on my little bee stings. Because remember, I started hormones when I was 16. So my little bee stings is growing too. And so she get to sucking on my titties. And Dawn is sitting over there like, she's gagging. Dawn is over there gagging the house down, acting like she is not ignoring it, but I don't know what Dawn is doing. Oh, Dawn is playing my Nintendo 64. She's playing Mario Kart on Nintendo 64, but she's trying to act like she's ignoring what's going on, but you can tell she's not ignoring what's going on. You both are in full bloom, right? And so I am absolutely in turn on mode because this is a whole other level of situation that I have never been in. And I'm in my teenage years, hot in the ass, in the tail. This is freaky. This is something new. This is, ooh, I had only had sex one time yet. So I'm in the prime of my peak of my oh, this is fresh. You know how when you get older, you done did so much stuff that you gotta there's some stuff you gotta really be doing some stuff to woo me into feeling like, ooh, this is really turning me on. But because I was so young, this wasn't one of those moments. This is new. This is literally the closest that I had been to a vagina in a sexual nature in my life. So I put my legs. Okay, so mind you, she's just like this, except her legs is up and her coochie is right here. I'm sitting next to her like this, so my arm is behind her. He's in between her leg. She's sucking on my little nipple titty because they wasn't that big, honey. My little things. I had a little knot in there, probably about the size of a golf ball. little something. They wasn't doing nothing. But they were real sensitive because anybody who been on hormones or anybody who, when you was young and you just started growing titties, them motherfuckers was sensitive as hell. So she's sucking on them. So is feeling love. I scoop myself behind her to where I'm directly behind her and I have my arms here around her. and I start taking my hand and lifting up her labia majora. Is that what it is? Is that the meaty parts, like outside of the lips? What's that part, that meaty part outside of the lips where the pubic hair grows at? Is that the labia majora? I know I don't know nothing about no vages. Let me look it up. Vagina parts. Let's look. Yes, it's the labia majora. So the labia majora is the meaty parts outside. So the things that look like lips, the things that the lip parts, that's the labia minora. The meaty parts, like outside of that, with that grows like the pubic hairs, but outside of that, that's the labia majora. So I was taking her labia and lifting it so he can get to her clit. So the hood that the clit is under, I was lifting all of that up and letting him really get to it. And she was living for it. She was loving it. And everything is getting hot. She's getting wetter. Her body is getting hot. She's moving. She's just, her response to this whole action is turning me on. Everything that is happening and his response to it. And his response to it, because he is eating her coochie and he's just sucking on it, and she is just laying back. She got her head like right here, and she's just like, oh, she's making noises, and I'm squeezing like her thighs. I'm just trying to help him. I don't know anything about a vagina. I know where the clit is, like as far as where it's at, and I know the parts of, I don't know the name of it clearly, but I know the parts based on, me looking at stuff and blah blah blah. So I know that the clit is where they get pleasure. So I'm trying to make that more accessible to him. Now I didn't know. Now I know as an adult that the clit is kind of wrapped around the vagina, like it's how it kind of is out, but then kind of goes in and around the vagina. Anyway, I know where it is now, but I thought, this is my kid brain, I thought that the part that was the clit is the only part that feels good. Kind of like I imagine the clit being like the head of the dick when I was a kid. So it feels like you naturally just knew how to help her open up as a woman. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know I just went by how she responded. She responded like it was feeling good to her. Like she responded, she was rubbing his head, rubbing my thighs, rubbing my titties, but her back is on me. Her back is on me. And so her head is like right here. Sometimes she put her head right here, and my arms are around her waist, like kind of massaging her thighs, massaging her coochie with him eating it. Da 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 da. And so I say to him, take your clothes off, because he had only taken his jacket off, and he has on this like long sleeve kind of sweater, because it's fall. It's not hot, but it's not it's like maybe like September. I don't know what time it was. But I know he had a long sleeve sweater, light sweater type of situation. I want to think it was fall or spring. It was not cold, but it wasn't hot either. When did Nicole Ray Make It Hot come out? Because that was the hot song. So it had to be spring. No, it had to be fall. No, it had to be spring of 99. Because it had been out. So this had to be like spring of 99. Yeah, it had to be spring of 99. So anyway, so it's flowing. I tell him to take his clothes off because he was because he was like, boy, take the clothes off. I was excited for her to see his dick because this is grown man dick, baby. This is dick. I want her to see it because for me, it was amazing to see. Ooh. J Max is so good. Do y'all got J Max at y'all place? J Max is so good. Um, I'm a listener to the podcast. Mia left the podcast in the beginning of the year in January. She just wanted to do something else. Nothing actually happened. She had been on the show for 5 years and she wanted to do something else. Yeah. But anyway, so I wanted her to see it. I wanted her to see it. So he sits up. And so while he's doing it, I'm taking my hand. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing because I don't know nothing about no vagina, but I'm taking my hand and rubbing where her clit is at. Like, rubbing it. And, not hard, just kind of rubbing it. And he starts taking his clothes off and he gets naked. And she finally get to see that big old dick. And she's like, ooh. I'm like, ah. I would have been feeling some kind of way. I'm the jealous or possessive type. What would you been feeling some kind of way about? What would you be jealous of? Um, I'm a trans femme. I've had a threesome with cis men and cis women before. Yes, that's dope. It was really intense. This was my second. The third time was a client, and it wasn't as fun as this time. This was I was a kid. It was all free, and it wasn't any kind of business. It just was fun exploring teenager. So he get naked. The big old dick is out, and when when he gets up, when he comes over to us, like when he brings his body, because he take his clothes off and then bring his body over here, me and Monique started sucking his dick. Like I started sucking his dick, she started licking his balls, and we switching back and forth. So we lay him down on the chair, we lay him down on the couch, and we start giving him head together. Oh, that's my trade. You can't have him. Oh, remember, this is, I told you, average looking Greg. Average, almost retarded looking Greg. This is not one of those trade that you're going to be like, this is my trade. This is not one of them. This is not one that sparks that kind of feeling. Not for me. It actually was, I think this was the perfect moment. Is because of all these factors. If this was a dude that I really, really liked, like one of my finds, I wouldn't have even let him in the apartment. Because I would have been scared to out him to this cisgender girl. You feel what I'm saying? Like anybody who was my fine down low trade, because everybody was down low back then. If this was one of my ones, I never would have let him come into the house and her see him. I never would have let that happen because I wouldn't have wanted to out him. It needed to be Greg because Greg was nothing to me. Greg was just it actually, when he came in, it was kind of embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but I don't know, like embarrassing, shameful a little bit because he wasn't sickening. And
This is a trade that I'm having, and now one of the first pieces of trade that she see is this 5'6" Jim Jones Tupac looking motherfucker. Oh, that's it. So it wasn't really, there was nothing about Greg that would have made me feel jealous or nothing, which is what it needed to be for me to experience this, because I didn't care about him. It was more about, I'm doing something new. Monique is responding to me, and because I think Monique wanted to bone me too. Monique was also would have been weird if she was sitting there getting all the pleasure, and I was sitting there just looking. I was not sitting there just looking. She was touching on me and making me feel good, and I was touching on her, making helping him make her feel good. And then we start doing him together, sucking his piece together, da 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 da. And then to top it all off, they both start doing me. So Don is gagged at the whole session. So this is like a oral sex threesome that is happening here. That is sending me into, what is happening here? This is the best day of my life. It turns into this thing where I'm not eating her out. I'm helping him eat her. I'm not doing anything with my mouth to her pussy, but I'm helping him play. I'm helping her feel good. I'm rubbing on her. I'm making her feel good. I had never been in these situations like this. But Don is definitely clutching her pearls. Playing the video game, gagging at everything that is happening. And so he says, once we get all of this kind of fun threesome oral stuff going on, he says, the trade says, I want to fuck something now. And so I say, I say, Monique, do you want to fuck? And Monique says, do you got any condoms? I say, I sure do. 1 second. And I go to my place and get some condoms. Come on, 17-year-old kids knowing how to do safe sex. Because we sure was on it. And so I went and got my condoms, and I put it on Greg and put it on his dick, and she got into doggy style position. And so now this is where it gets kind of awkward, because now I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, so now how do I make this pleasurable? So I'm just kind of sitting there on the bed and on the couch, and she's in like the dog, she's over, facing that way, ass to him, and he's facing this way. And so he puts the dick in, and they start going or whatever. So I'm rubbing on her back, I'll suck on her titties, and it's feeling good. He sh- she's giving the indication that this is all pleasurable to her. Like, this is all she's loving it. Like, we're talking, we're asking each, like, does it, like, I'm asking her, does it feel good? I'm asking him, does it feel good? Everybody is getting their life. So as we are getting into the motion, I see him trying to take the condom off. And so I say, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm trying to make sure that it stay on. So now I'm paying attention. So they still going, still going. This nigga done tried to take the condom off. I was like, no, you not. You trying to take the condom off. Why are you doing that? And so Monique scoots up off the dick. And she was like, nigga, you is ruining the moment. We said we was down and you with a condom. Like, nigga, condom. And he was like, oh, condoms is too tight and da 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 da. And maybe so, because it was tight on him, but it wasn't popping. It wasn't coming off. It was just on the tight ass dick. It was. But you either gonna do it this way or you not gonna do it. What's the tea? But at this point, Monique is like, now you done ruined the mode. You done ruined the whole situation. You was late. Da 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 da. Monique done put on her pennies. He's like, oh man, nah, my bad, my bad. Blah, 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 blah. You done ruined the whole moment for everybody trying to sneak this condom off. You ruined it, buddy. Now the situation is over. Now the situation is done. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. He leaves. He leaves and gone about his business. And it's getting late. And so they end up Don and her end up catching a bus back home. Her and the next day, her and Trina talk on the phone, and she comes back over, not my house, but over to Trina's house because she lives right down the street, and go to Trina's house, and they hook up and have a session. So Monique, this whole 2 days has been a days of ecstasy because, honey, she has been having a good time with me and the Trey, and then she tops it off with having a great time with Trina, her lesbian lover, for many years now. They've been messing around for years, still messing around to this day. Even though she got kids and a man and da da da, she been messing with Trina forever. Um, but yes, she ended up telling me that she came back over there the next day and hooking up with Trina. So she got her whole session. She got to nut. She had a good time. Trina called me and said that she had a good time with Monique, even though it was her first time, and they've been messing around with each other for years. But that was the first time that I had a situation with a cisgender girl and and a dude, and it was amazing. It was totally amazing. I really loved it. If I was if I did that now, I would do more things, but at the time I did what I was comfortable with. You got one time to try it, then it's a wrap. Yeah, it was a wrap. And it was good because, even though we were young, we had our own minds. We had our own minds, and we both had been. I hadn't been as far as penetration sexually active, but I had been sucking tons of meats. And she had already been fucking, and so we just knew. We already knew we had, we done had the sex talks. We know how condom works. Um, and so yeah, and then Greg is not Greg isn't like a bad dude. Like, he's not a bad dude. He's like um you get what I'm saying? So when you tell Greg no, it's no. So it's not, he didn't get no attitude. When we told him to get out, he got out. It wasn't any kind of, and he came back over my house another time, like a couple of weeks later. I've been dealing with Greg. Every time I go back home, I chat with Greg. Anytime I go back to Indianapolis, we chat. Um, you get what I'm saying? He cool. Yeah, so yeah, that was a wonderful, 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 wonderful experience. I loved it. Still cool with Monique. Me and Monique, um, we haven't seen each other in a couple of years because we just grown. She got like a couple of children now, married, still mess with women on the side. One of them women that are their sexual orientation is bisexual, but they're romantically attracted to men. They want to be in relationships with men, but they don't mind muff diving every blue moon, every now and then. So I had a great time. It was one of my fondest sexual memories of my youth. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So excited. And the crazy part is the person who talked about it the most years to come was Don. Cause honey, Don, every chance she get, honey, she is bringing it up. Don had moved to Houston for a little bit. Don, rest in peace, she has passed away now. Um, she died of a fentanyl poisoning years ago because she was into using drugs. But she had came to Houston, honey, and she would bring that story up every chance she got. Yeah. But she was sweet. Mm. Mm. But that's my story for tonight. What else y'all want to talk about? I'm not sleepy yet, so if y'all enjoyed it, thumbs up. Yes, I love Interview with a Vampire. What is it that you're wearing? It is this dress from Diara Blue. Y'all can't tell, but it looks like a house dress, but it's not a house dress. It's actually a almost a $300 dress. It looks better in person. The fabric is so soft and silk and just love, but on camera it looks like a house dress, but it's a really comfortable sundress. It's a very soft and flowy, and it's like it's Diara Blue. Have y'all heard of that company? That not company. That brand Diara Blue. It's actually their new spring collection. If you check it out, it's Diarrablu. Diarrablu. Diara Blue. And it's the new gold fabric. Like she curates her own fabrics, and it's the new something gold. Yeah, I love them. They're based out of Ghana. They've been featured in Vogue. They've been featured in a lot of stuff. So I love it. I have like, I have like 6 DR Blue pieces. It's a couple of DR Blues that I like. Let me show you on my Instagram. It's a couple of DR Blues that I like. This is a DR Blue dress. This that dress right there. Let me see if I can get to it. That's a DR Blue dress. See if I can find another one. I do have like 6. This one. This is a Diara blue dress. I don't know if I can zoom in. If you go on my Instagram, it's a couple of pictures that I got on my Diara blue. But yeah, I got like 6 of them. So I got some short ones with one shoulders. I got there I suggest, like, if you want something that you can wear to like vacation clothes, get them. That's what it's gonna be. I also got some if you go on there now, I got two things from their new spring collection. I got this blue, this gold, and then I got some green wide leg in the same material, but they're green and got palm prints on it. Woo! I wore them to the mall the other day. Motherfuckers was going crazy for them pants. They are beautiful. Um, but my size, I'm like right at their size end. If you anywhere near bigger than me, don't play with them. And I'm a size 22. So if you anywhere near over a 22, anywhere near, like, I'm right there. So if you a 24 or 26, anything like that, don't do it. But if you smaller, like if you 22 and smaller, you they're perfect. Fits is love. They feel great. They feel luxurious. They feel expensive. I love them. Let me see. I saw you tweeting about Interview with a Vampire. I love Interview with a Vampire. It's much, much better than the movie. Love it, love it, love it, because they're going more along the lines of the book. So I love it. Do you play video games? I'm a gamer, but I haven't been playing anything recently. I'm more into MMORPGs like Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. Um, how was the Tinder event? The Tinder event was great. Let me go to my um this right here. Where's the picture at? Damn. This is the Tinder event. Oh, if you go to my LinkedIn, that's where I put all my professional stuff. If you go to my LinkedIn, I felt fly that day. I was looking cute. I was looking cute. Yes. I feel like they should have been had a second movie with the Brad Pitt and them. Uh, he's too old now. Mm, he's too old now. I like that he's black. I like that Louis is black. I love everything about the new one. I feel like Tinder has been the worst app for me dating wise. Um, the most successful app for me dating wise, as far as, are we talking about hookups? Or are we talking about dating? Like good dates. Um, if I'm talking about hookups, this app called Black. If you like black boys, for me, that's been the most successful hookup one. If we're talking about actual dates, yes, be okay. If we're talking about actual dates, most successful for great dates, POF. I have great success with POF. I've seen more people get married from Bumble. Mm, I've heard good stuff about Bumble. I just like Black because it shows me black boys instead of, I don't have to navigate through the Chads and the Tods. Um, what's your next travel destination? Let's see. So on Monday, I go to Dallas. Ooh, baby, the men on Black are fine. Yeah, I love Black. So on Monday I go to Dallas. I live in Houston. I go to Dallas for the Black Trans Advocacy Conference, and I will be there for a while. Um, in in May, I go to New Orleans. I will be in New Orleans from the 15th through the 20th. Um, Also in May on the 28th, I will be in Cancun on a beach enjoying somebody's son, adult son. um, I will be there for a while. And in June, I will be in New York. In the middle of June. And then at the end of June, after Pride is all over, I will be in Switzerland. I will be in Switzerland for a while for the beginning of July because I'm going to the Montreux Jazz Festival. You know, be rich auntie about it. um, I thought that I might have been going to the Essence in New Orleans, but no, I'm gonna go to Switzerland because I never been to the Montreux Jazz Festival, and ever since I saw Rochelle Farrell singing there, I wanted to go. So yeah, that is my travel, and I don't have any more travel until maybe I might go to Italy in August. Maybe go to Greece, but I haven't bought any tickets to that because I gotta see how June treats me. You know, June is where the big bucks come. So if I make a lot of money in June, then I'm gonna go to Italy. As high as Essence is, in as high as Essence is, Switzerland might be the move. Switzerland ain't cheap. But yeah, yeah. Essence done grew, motherfuckers. They done grew. So I don't know. I'm trying to. My goal this year is to go to Italy and Bali. So I've already paid for the my beginning of the year stuff. So that's why I'm so broke. I'm broke now. Because I've already prepaid for my Switzerland trip. I prepaid for my Cancun trip. So all of that stuff is paid for. So my hopes is between now and um June. So May and June, I hope I make a lot of money working so that I can pay for my trip to Italy in August and my trip to Bali in December. Excuse me. But I haven't paid for those, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford them. But I want to afford them. I want to make it work. So I don't have any kids. I don't have any vices. I don't have anything that I spend my money on. So if I make a lot of money, I'll try to make it. Hopefully. So far, so good. My bestie says she's deleting her app because men keeps asking her for money. I haven't got to that age yet where men is asking me for money. What else? Did I miss anybody's questions? Ooh, baby, the men are one black are fine. Yeah. I do that. Aloha. Um, I'll ask you for some money. I don't know. I'm a sex work is always a tool in a toolbox. If you look like you got some coins, I'm gonna ask you for some. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What that lady say? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I love her. She's so funny. I'm gonna ask you for some money. I'm gonna ask you to spend. I'm gonna ask you to buy. I'm gonna. That's just what it is. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Some of her stuff be weird, but it's not. I want to say it's pick me. It's I think what they're calling it online is dark feminine. I think that's what that like. If you go on TikTok and search hashtag dark femininity, it'll pull up all these videos of women. It's like it's what the men asked for, but it's it's for in their favor. They like y'all want us to be feminine and be skinny and slim and look perfect. This is what it's gonna cost you. It's like it's Jasmine Sullivan's mascara song. You know, I'm getting my body together. Okay, you wanted me to do this. You want, just like Kevin Samuel said, you want me to get my body together. You want me to get my hair like you want it. You want me to do all of these things. Well, that requires maintenance. And when I get to this peak level of femininity, it is for people who have money. You have to buy me things. You have to take me to nice restaurants. You have to do all this kind of stuff. Because if I work this hard to be this kind of pristine, feminine woman and submissive and da 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 da, then it requires you to pay. But she's also realistic in how she approaches it. She says, if you're looking for, if you want security, you need to find somebody that you look better than. Don't try to go get these fine rich men that everybody's chasing after. Get you some average looking dude that you look way better than, and he is going to treat you like a queen because you are treating him like a king. You're making him look good. You are doing all the stuff you need to do to make him look good. And so when you do that, he does everything, which is normally true. Like, people who I have had a sugar daddy relationship with, it's been quite easy to keep. Like, because it's always been, when you engage with them, you are not being your regular self. You are cutting, my homegirl, Brianna, she the one that went to Egypt with me. She does it. She Chef Kiss, she does it really, really good. She cuts on her baby girl, like her, you know, her flirty baby girl personality. And when you have like a sugar daddy or something, that's what you got to cut on. You can't be giving attitude. Now, if you got a dominatrix client that's into you being like that, then yeah. But if you are got a regular dude, he's gonna want that feminine, submissive energy, that kind of dumb girl vibe. You just, you just giving him, you're playing a role. You playing yourself dumber than what he is, um, dumber than what you are. You acting interested in things that he is interested in. You're listening to him. That's how you snag him. When I was 17, this dude used to be on me. He was so ugly. I told him that I didn't have a phone, so he brought me one. Then he turned it off after my boo answered it. Yeah. Long as you like, I have the song that I wrote on here called Sugar Daddy. This was about him. That song was about him. I have a friend named Ken. he 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 just is just great. I can't even explain to y'all. He is just great. Like, he's married, but anytime that Diamond needs something, he is there for me. He is doing it for me. He is giving me a coin whenever I need a coin. But every time he sees Diamond, Diamond is looking fly and dressed up for him, and titties sitting up and at him. Hey, baby, honey. He loves long hair, so my hair is always long when he sees me. He's just, you got to put on a role. You got to look pleasing to him. He like thick red girls, so me being thick is his tea. He's just, you got to put on baby girl, and he lives. He loves it, and we have a great time. But and he'll give me whatever I want and more. Like, he will, you know, just drop off some coins just because I'll do something so small and nothing, and honey, he'll cash at me some coins. Something, I'll send him a picture. Something that makes his day, or something. And he fine. It ain't like he's some ogre. He actually fine. Got a nice body. He got now all of his hair is gray. Like here, this gray, his beard is really, really white. Now on the top of his head, he got waves, but it's like salt and pepper wave. But his whole beard is white. And he's like a brown skin. He's like 5'11". He's very average, but he fine. He's sexy. Yeah, he's sexy to me. He's sexier than Greg. He definitely is not average at all. He's very handsome. But he's just older. And I'm cool. I'm a cool ass bitch. And so we can talk about anything. And he hood and I can give him that hood chick vibe. We can do our thing. But we also can go to classy restaurants and you know what I'm saying? Cause he fly. It's just dope. It's so you just gotta pick somebody that matches you. But I got probably like two that's like really, really good. And then I have a half of one. He's not good because he don't have enough sugar as the other two. But to be a good sugar daddy, he'll come when he can, but the other two got enough sugar. This one, he's a Splenda daddy. A sweet and low daddy. His sugar ain't as authentic. His sugar ain't as long. A Splenda daddy, honey. A sativa daddy. Is that how you say that? But yeah, they will do whatever. But you can't be having your boo answer the phone, child. Is male escorting for straight women an upper class thing? Because I don't know any poor women paying for sex. Not outright, at least. I don't think it is as common as woman being the escorted man, but I do know situations where men is getting money for women just to be their boy toy. Not too many poor people can afford that. Um, but I know some ones that can afford it, especially if they're older, they'll have a little boy toy. But the thing about it is that the engagement requires more time. Like most women, not to stereotype, but the wham bam thank you ma'am type usually ain't how they work. Usually the ones that is tricking with some young dude, he gotta come and spend time with them. Whereas if a escort, a female figure escort, it could be a wham bam thank you ma'am. It could be a give me my money and we hook up and then you go about your business. Men don't take as much. I'm pretty sure as they get, if you get richer and richer and less time and more time constraints, there might be some older women that that are like that. But usually when I see that relationship with older women and younger male escort, he gotta put in some time. I don't agree with her. I've been watching her for years. I don't agree with her every time, but she has some good tips and she's entertaining. Yeah, she's definitely entertaining. I'm trying to think of what I don't agree with. Give me an example of what you don't agree with. She said something the other day. It's not that I didn't agree with it. It just was a harsh reality. Like she said something. She was talking. I seen a video of hers, and um, she was talking about losing weight. And this girl, I guess the girl comes on there each time and gets to talking about losing weight. And she said, "Girl, I guess the girl said now that I done gained weight, he never want to take me out." And she was telling her girl, he doesn't like big women. You need to lose weight. Or find you somebody that like big women. You're trying to turn somebody who don't like, and she was like, he's gonna eventually find somebody younger and slimmer. Also, peeing with no attachment can be found plenty from Dusty's. Escorts got to bring something different. Usually, escorts bring what Miss Thing is talking about. Escorts invest in their look. Escorts invest in, you got to be worth somebody spending some money on you. You know what I'm saying? So usually escorts, they are fitting whatever image that is like the ideal. Like, so if it's a woman, she's gonna be hyper feminine. She's gonna make sure that her clothes are tight enough. She's gonna make sure it's traditionally sexy. She's gonna be body con. She's always gonna have on heels. It could be body con or a film, classy film. It's gonna be hyper film. It's gonna be tip out makeup, nails. It's gonna be hyper film. She's gonna hit the gym all the time. When you at that peak level of escort, you are trying to look your best all the time. It's that video. It's that not the video, that song called Mascara. That's why Jasmine Pin Game is so dope. She hit it on the head. That song describes everything. She was like, I'm literally, honey, I ain't gotta cook, I ain't gotta clean, bitch. I'm in this gym making my body look amazing. I'm investing in my look, making sure my nails is done, making sure my eyes is always on point, making sure my lashes is done, making sure my physical presence is at peak level at all times. Because as long as I look like this bad bitch, I'm gonna get what I want out of him. And that is his rule. As long as you stay looking like this, I'll give you whatever you want. And that goes for the men too. The men who make the most money in male escorting, first of all, male escorts are usually gay. They're usually dealing with other men. But the one that make the most money are the ones that are always in the gym, who got the abs and the body and the ass and their arms. They look like a man. All of that. Oh, I went to sleep earlier, and so I am woke and not sleepy. Reality show. Yeah, reality show was good. I like hotels too, but reality show was, I think, as far as the writing, I think reality show was my favorite. Yeah, I loved it. I like hotels too, but reality show was chef kiss. Didn't that have masterpiece on it? And burn and what else? Dumb, stupid girl or whatever. Oh, I loved it. Oh, I love that album. Um, yeah, mascara. Let it burn. Yeah, but yeah, this is what I say. I don't think that as a long term goal, I don't think it is a good investment. But I think as a young woman in her 20s and early 30s, I think when you in your prime, because when it comes to looks, and that's not your real prime. You are more than your looks and your body, absolutely. But in the superficial world, in the real world, yes, you are more than your looks and your body. You need to invest in your brain and your mentality and your future in that way. But when you are young, that is also the time to maximize the investment in your look. Because I feel like if I wasn't trans and I was a cisgender girl, it's hard to say because I got my game from being trans. I think that if I was a cisgender girl, I would be a church girl. Because I'm pretty sure I would have stayed in church. I probably would be a judgy ass church bitch, honestly, if I was to be honest. Based on my history, I feel like if I was born a girl, I would be a stuck up church bitch. But my transness changed my whole trajectory. So, thank you. Changed my whole trajectory. So, if I had the mentality that I had now and I could start over as a cis girl, I wouldn't want to start over as born a cis girl. Like I wouldn't start over as a baby. But if I could start over and be a cis girl at 13, like start my life over and be cis at 13, I would be rich by the time I was 30. Because I would know the game. I would be playing these niggas left and right. It would be a whole different ball game for me. A whole different. I would play the game very, very differently than I see cis girls playing. I definitely would be. I wouldn't be a hoe per se, by some people's standards, yes. But you ain't getting this coochie without a lot of money. Because I would be in my younger years, I would be investing in my look. I would be hitting the gym. I would be a bad bitch. I love Montrose. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be one of them girls as, oh, I want to be in love. I want it to be real. No. I would definitely date older men, honey. R. Kelly's. What's up, baby? No, you're not no abusive. Not. I heard he was on some abusive shit, but niggas that like young bitches that got money, I would have been. You would have been thinking they was predatoring me. I would have been predatoring them. Definitely. Taking out. Ooh, a motherfucking P Diddy. Ooh, like Carisha. I be getting. I be getting all these young dudes. I mean, all these old niggas. Signing prenups. I wouldn't be tripping. I'm gonna sign your prenup. But every chance I get to that coin, I'm investing it in my own shit. I am investing it in. Ain't no way I'm leaving a relationship without me stifling some money off into my own businesses, child. Ain't no way. Because when I leave you, even if I don't get a lot of money when we get divorced, I am going to have some coins. I never understand the women who have nothing when they leave dudes. I'm leaving out of here with something, baby. Because every chance I get to send some money somewhere, transfer money here, transfer money here, I'm stacking me some paper somewhere out of his account. Period. He ain't got to worry. I'm going to have a few houses, a few little properties, honey. It's going to be very Tracy Edmonds, Misha Hilton. Cause all the women who got babies by these niggas that's successful, Kamora Lee Simmons. Well, the good thing about Lori Harvey is that she got a rich stepdaddy that'll invest in her. So not only is she getting coins if she's smart, getting coins from the dude she dating, she should also be getting coins from her daddy, her from Steve. Like her mama doing. You know what I'm saying? Her mama, I feel like Marjorie Harvey, is that her name? Marjorie? Or how do you say it? She's smart enough to let's invest in my daughter. If she's smart. Because Lori got her own little skin line, her skincare line. Now who knows what else? But yeah. Maya was iconic when she got that 50 million from the dude who broke off her man engagement. Oh, I don't know about that. Who was iconic was Janet when she got that 500 million by staying with old boy and giving her a baby for 5 years. Janet was a dude. Janet was the hustle. I got my baby, a rich baby daddy, and a severance pay when I leave this motherfucker. And she was already rich. That's also the sickening part. When you already got a coin, I love that. Security, security, security. That's what you're trying to build for yourself. Security. That is it. That is all you're trying to build. Security, security, security. I thought Rihanna was gonna pull a Janet for a second for her last boyfriend. If I'm to be honest, I wanted Rihanna to have a baby by Chris. It probably would have been toxic, but I wanted her to have a baby by Chris. But I like Rocky. I thought that eventually, after years and years and years, I thought Chris would have calmed down And then after years and years and years, they could have got back together, but no. I wonder what marriage agreement Beyonce and Jay has. Hmm. I'm sure Beyonce is smart and Jay is smart too. So I'm pretty sure they have prenups. But I'm pretty sure they was married in 2008. I'm also pretty sure that their prenups are becoming null and void because prenups only last a certain amount of time, and once that time is up, y'all have to read because y'all coins get too intertwined after a certain amount of time, and so y'all have to reset the boundaries again because people don't understand that too. Because usually prenups only last a certain amount of time, especially if you're in California. Usually, that's usually the case, but they're not just ongoing things. If y'all stay together for a long time, a motherfucker can that prenup can be out of there. But I also think that Jay Z has changed his ways. Actually, I actually think that. Yes, post nuptials. Yes, I think it's like 8 to 10. I think it's like 8 to 10 years. So I think Jay Z done got old. I think Jay Z done got super old. I don't think he. I think he started to realize that cheating getting stupid. Yeah. So what it is usually so prenups usually I'm reading the norm. So what happens is it's not that they expire. What it is there's a time limit in there. So for example, in order for you to get some type of spousal support, y'all have to be married for 10 years. It's usually something like that within the prenuptials. Or if I cheat, or if you cheat, then you don't get nothing, and da 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 da. It's all these stipulations that if this happens, boom. If this happens, boom. If this happens, boom. If you stay together for 10 years, then you're it's we get prenups. You can we can get you can get spousal support if we stay together 10 years. That's usually how they work. It's not that they expire. It's that within the stipulations, it's usually a time limit for different things. If you don't give me children within this amount of time, if you don't, whatever, that would be a big career and social L for him. If I'm to be honest, I think Jay Z's musical career is over in regards to like him making more albums. He might do like some kind of some little album, just to do it. But as far as his peak is gone. I think his business is he's in new ventures. Um, Yeah, he's definitely past his prime. He's into his big business venture mogul era. Who aspires to be an old ashy bachelor? Nobody, but you can be an old man with money and get some young girl. That's niggas like that. That don't make them look bad. And honestly, I only think Beyonce got one more album in her. If I'm to be honest, because Diddy ain't ran out of girls yet, and he ain't. As long as you got money, you ain't gonna run out. She's up there as well. Um, I'm trying to base it off other women who are Beyonce's age. So Beyonce, same age as me. She's 42. I'm thinking about Janet at 42. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the albums that she was creating. I'm thinking about other women who were creating albums at 42, musical stars. This is usually around the time when it's like their last album. Let me see. So when did Demeter Joe come out? So yeah, so think about it. So Janet Demeter Joe album was about to be fired. If that Super Bowl shit didn't do happen, that negative Super Bowl shit, Janet was in her 40s. She was about to be almost 40. She was like 38, da 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 da. So this would be her Demeter Joe would have been her yeah, this kind of Break My Soul album. This is kind of that late 30s, early 40s album. When did Feedback come out? Which one was that one? What album was after Demeter Joe? What album was after Demeter Joe? Janet Jackson's discography. All right, show more. All right, so Discipline. So the Feedback album, Discipline. Right. When did Discipline come out? Let's see. So that was her 40 album when she was 40. Is that the feed? Did it have feedback on it? Yeah. So that was when Janet was 40. So imagine that. So Janet wasn't having the same success that she was having. Like, it's all for you. And it was kind of dropping down. And so I'm thinking this was a great album for Beyonce. This is not, she hasn't dropped, she hasn't peaked. Um, she's been having a good run. And so I think she just got one more. Like if I was a betting girl, honey, I would think Beyonce would have one more. Not because she couldn't have some more other good albums. It's because I also think Beyonce is somebody who has a plan. I think Beyonce has a plan to be out of the game for a certain time. I don't see Beyonce touring and doing all this kind of stuff in her 50s. I don't know. I feel like she's gonna start doing other shit that don't require all this running around. Does that make sense? I Something about Beyonce tells me she's a Virgo, so I'm thinking she has a set time of when she want to do stuff. Do y'all agree? Chloe and Haley. She's Chloe and Haley. What does that mean? What you mean by that, Shonette? And Shonette, I didn't know you had a twin. I seen your page the other day and seen you with your twin looking cute. Yeah, I think we are nearing the end of Beyonce active career years. I wouldn't say active career years. I just don't think she's going to be doing music. Excuse me. It's something I think she's gonna. I really think she's gonna start focus on that acting because the acting is her late. That's her weakest link. So if she can really get some time to sit down and work on that, she might get these. She might get that EGOT, honey. I would like her to do a gospel soul album. Hmm. She wants to raise her babies and take cute pictures in peace. That's what I think Beyonce wants to do. Maybe where she can have more intimate shows. She gonna do like Janet. I'm not Janet, like Diana Ross. She gonna be like Tina Turner. She gonna be like, I feel like Tina Turner. She gonna get old. She gonna be doing it, doing shows, but not doing no albums. Doing her same old stuff. I think I think if Beyonce loves what she's doing, she doesn't ever have to stop, whatever that may look like. No, no, no. I'm not saying that she has to stop, but I just don't. I think there's elements of the industry that Beyonce doesn't like. Has Beyonce really set up anything outside of music that stuck? I don't know. Not that I know of. Mm, I don't know what that move is. Oh, that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful news. Her getting chased by the UK fans. I think that's dope. Because that means you know, when people compare her to Michael Jackson, they're getting that vibe. Yeah, they're comparing it to Princess Diana because, you know, It's in Europe. Feedback, feedback.
I could be fat, bitch. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love this video.
I could be fat, bitch. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I could be fat, bitch. Ain't nothing wrong with fat. I think Ivy Park is done. I think they're not doing Ivy Park no more. I thought it had been successful, but apparently, I've seen some stuff that it wasn't successful or something. I don't know what the tea was, but oh no. Beyonce might get into her director bag instead of acting one. That could be cute. What do you think she would direct? You know, she has a great eye for detail, so I think that'll be a good bag for her. I think that would be good direction for her. I would love for her to do what Tyler Perry thinks he does for black women. Ah, I don't know. I want I always want freshness. I want new people. I want whoever's been put on to put on other new people. I'm always into who else got some ideas. I am tired of remakes. I am so tired of remakes. Tired of remakes. I'm tired of I want new ideas, new creative ideas. I want books made that are not classics, like new good books that are just great ideas. If y'all had a book that y'all could make into a movie, what would it be? What movie, what book would y'all do? I would do Octavia Butler, Wild Seed. I feel like that would be a fire ass movie. Um, Most of the books that I love have been turned into. Oh, I would do Paradise, Toni Morrison Paradise. I feel like that would be a fire ass movie. If I was going to do a remake or some kind of nostalgia stick, I would remake Thundercats. I feel like nobody has attempted to make Thundercats a movie, and it is time to make Thundercats a movie. We got Transformers, we got Power Rangers. Why is nobody making Thundercats a movie? Thundercats was fire. It had some fire ass female characters, it had some fire ass men characters. It just was so good. Why wouldn't they do a Thundercat? They did Ninja Turtles. Did they do He-Man? I don't know. Even He-Man, I would love to see Orko as a real life thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. But there's so many things that they could make. I wanted them to make A Little Mermaid. I'm so glad they did a Little Mermaid. That's dope. What other live action? I want uh I want a back or Ursula backstory. I want Ursula, any Elin Harris. Ooh, or Eric Jerome Dickey. Ooh. Yeah, Elin Harris or Eric Jerome Dickey. That would be cute. But I feel like Patrick Ian Polk could do that. Ian Patrick Polk, or is that what his name? I feel like he should be doing that. Atlantis with a race appropriate actors, please. Hmm. I never liked it, that Disney movie. Um, they just I would have said I would love to them to have told the story of Chevalier, but they did just make a movie, but it was empty and dry. It was I won't say it wasn't good. It was good. And the actor who played him was good, but it is they left a lot of stuff out that I feel like this is the time that they could have had it. Yeah, they are getting Billy Porter to play James Baldwin. I think that's going to be good. Depending on how far they go, I would love a Josephine Baker biopic. I would love a Polly Murray biopic. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I would love to make a film. I have a great idea for a film. I can't. I wish I get some coins. If I ever get a chunk of coin, like a big lump sum of coin, I am going to make it. There's a film that I want to make. We need a Wendy Williams. We already had a Wendy Williams biopic. That I thought it was good. I thought the Lifetime biopic was good. Mm. As an opera girl, I'm scared to watch Chevalier and be disappointed. No, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. There are actually some funny moments where he was reading people singing opera wrong. There was some really funny musical moments that he did really good in. I thought it was dope with updated stuff. Mm. Yeah, I'm not interested in Wendy's story. It's not really that interesting to me. I want Wendy to be healthy and doing what she does. I like Wendy as a messy auntie talking about culture. We got a lot of biopics now. We need the real Clark sisters biopic. Um, oh, they bore me. They're church women. They bore me. Maybe of the other sister, maybe. um, I'm excited about them making Fallout into a TV series. I hope they do it justice. I am excited about that. I love Fallout. I really want them to make Metroid. I really want them to make Metroid a movie. I feel like Metroid would be a really, really good movie. From Nintendo, Metroid, I feel like that would be a really good movie. Sci-fi, yeah. I feel like it would be so good. Or Zelda, any kind of I would love them to make the Ocarina of Time into a movie. That would be so fire. I need a good movie about the Loch Ness Monster. I do not. Do that on a BBC documentary for Scotland. um, I was learning this Scotland song. It talks about something about on the banks of the Loch Ness. I can't remember what the words were, but it was such a pretty song. Oh nah, I don't fool with ocean like that. Deep sea creatures. Ah, anything interesting. I just want something fresh that we haven't seen. Fresh, 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 fresh. Stories. There's so many black stories that we haven't seen. I'm tired of the same one. Like, even if, like, I'm not somebody who's like, oh, I'm tired of slave narratives. I'm actually not. I'm tired of the same ones or the same types of ones. There's so many different ones that I want to see. I was so excited. I know they would have read this one, but I was so excited when I watched 12 Years a Slave. I was so excited about Alfre Woodard's character. Did y'all watch 12 Years a Slave? Did y'all watch, did y'all pay attention to Alfre Woodard's character? I hadn't, her character was a new iteration of it was some, I felt like Alfre Woodard's character was a different iteration of slave in a sense of the Patsy character, classic raping the slave woman. But remember when he sent Patsy to talk with Alfre Woodard's character, and her slave owner, his wife had died and he hadn't remarried. So he literally has Alfre Woodard sitting up there like his wife in her fancy clothes, having tea parties. Nobody is coming to visit him. He's in his own plantation. He's doing his thing. He's not, because they're so secluded, he can have this life and he can be in this like unofficial marriage to his slave. And just like we were talking about girls and women who make the system work for them, even though this can be misogynistic and this can be, patriarchal, we might as well make this work for them. There are some women that are like that. I might as well make this work in my favor. And I could see a slave saying, why would I run away when I'm not getting beat? Oh, I loved Woman King. I'm not getting beat. I'm in the finest dresses. I'm sipping tea. I'm You know what I'm saying? I could run away and go and somebody snatch me and take me to another plantation, or it just can do too much when I can just sit here and deal with him. And now that the wife is gone, it's almost like I'm the wife. And I'm not saying that that is not rape or that is not, that's still not slavery. I'm not saying that, but I can see it could be a way out of the super, super harshness of slavery. Like in the fields and in the getting running and getting chased by dogs, that part of it. I can see somebody settling for that life because if, you know, if that's all that is, why not sit here in my pretty dresses and drink tea? I can see somebody making the conscious choice to making that situation work instead of being like Patsy, not making it work and getting wore out by the mistress. And I had never seen that nuance of a character because everybody wants to act like people wasn't making it work. Like you can't tell me that you can't tell me that to be in a better situation, a slave wasn't seducing somebody's son, like one of the sons of the house to get more stuff. I don't know. We hustlers, so I'm not about to believe that we just was not hustling to either leave or to make the life better on the plantation. And given the time, that would be the yeah. And another element of a story that I learned about, not learned about it, but learned about in depth that I didn't know. Sexual patronage was a thing. Much why Tigran laws will exactly. It's proof that this stuff was going on, but people, because of no, they were being raped, they were being enslaved. Yes, but you gotta give people some type of agency. No, I can't run away and I'm stuck in this situation. But while I'm in this situation, how can I use my agency to get me in a better situation? And this doesn't mean it's their fault. It's just I'm making this work for me. But I was one element that I learned recently in the past like 2 years was Sally Hemings. So I always thought that there was a lot of elements that I didn't know about the Sally Hemings story. So yes, she was a slave and was a slave master. We're not undermining that. But what I didn't know is that she had a chance to leave, because how Sally got in her position was Thomas Jefferson didn't actually own Sally. Thomas Jefferson's wife owned Sally. And so, which she inherited from her father because her father didn't have any sons. And so once the wife died, she ended up that the slave passed on to Thomas Jefferson. Another element is before Jefferson started to sexually deal with Sally, his daughter, the white daughter, had a caretaker that got sick and died. And it was suggested that Sally be the one who replaced her, but she was too young. Everybody thought that she was too young to replace her, while to be her caretaker, to be the white daughter's caretaker, because she was too young. But they didn't really have any more options, so they went ahead and went with it, and they sent Sally Hemings over to France to study with Thomas Jefferson's daughter abroad to be her caretaker. And while they're over in France, remember, France didn't have, there was times in France's history that they didn't have slave. They abolished slavery 2 times. Like, it kept going on and off, because most French people weren't fucking with it like that. I'm not saying that they're not racist or they didn't have it at all, but it wasn't like in America. It wasn't a part of their economic, it wasn't as deeply entrenched in part of their economic growth, because France was already a country, already da. So it wasn't as a mainstay as like it was in America. And so when Sally goes over there, while she is in America, Thomas Jefferson's property, she's coming over here to France where the black people are free. And they telling her, girl, you can be free. We can get you out of here. They telling Sally, girl, you don't got to go back with them. If they go back, John Adams and his wife is over there. You get what I'm saying? They all being diplomats over here. They even, when you go to Paris, they got statues of Jefferson, because there was some kind of diplomacy connection that they were making with France at the time. John Adams and whatever, Mary Adams, whatever John Adams' wife's name was. So it was a time when Sally could have been free, and the black people over there was trying to help her be free. But this is also the time that started having sex with her. And so when it was all said and done, and it was time for them to go back, and Thomas Jefferson was realizing that, oh, she could stay. Like, she could run away, and these black people will help her run away. Because she also was learning French. She was going to school over there. So it wasn't like she was locked in a cage. No, she was in society with the daughter because she was the daughter's caretaker. And she was a young girl too, like her handmaid or whatever. But she was also in school learning French and all that kind of stuff. So the black people was like, girl, you can get up out of here. So once Thomas Jefferson got a whiff of it, Sally made a deal with him. Sally said, if I come back with you, you got to free my kids when they get 21, you got to make them free. Any children we have, you got to make them free. Thomas Jefferson agreed. And so Sally Hemings came back to the Americas, back to Monticello. And remember, the woman who owned her, Thomas Jefferson's wife, had died. He never married again. And he put Sally in her own cute little house on the plantation. And she was living like, his wife, basically. And every one of his children, once they hit 21, he freed them. So much so that when he died, Sally went to one of the sons that lived up the street. So they all lived. How we even know about this and the DNA and is because the whole family lived around that Monticello plantation. Also, she was being treated so well in a sense. Remember, I'm not trying to take away the fact that she was a slave and owned by this man. But I'm just giving the nuance of she made a deal. We can have our children together, and each time they get 21, I want them to be free. And Thomas Jefferson freed each and every one of her children when they hit 21. So, and she was living sickening. She was living so sickening that when he ran for office, his opponents had hired like some private investigators. They wouldn't have called them that, but that's just our version of private investigators. And they went and cased out the plantation to see what was happening and going on. And when they realized how he was treating Sally, they did an expose of how he treated his Negroes and how he was living up with her like it was his wife. They tried to use it to try to make people not vote for him. And they thought it was going to get him not elected, but because so many white men was having sex with their slaves and trying to get their slave to stay and not run away, and so they was making concessions for them, it wasn't that big of a deal. He still won his election. And so we have the president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. But while he was going on, it was a big deal. They did an expose in the newspaper about how he treated her, how he was shacking up with his slave. Sally was strategic for her future and her kids' future. She was. Because she could have stayed in France, but she would have been a mulatto girl with a baby by an American man because she was pregnant by Thomas Jefferson. She would have been, no, she wouldn't have. Why not me? I stay with this rich ass white man, and as long as he free my kids. Now, she was in a situation where what if he didn't free her kids? But he did. Like on paper, he freed his children, and they went and got their own house up the street from the plantation. And then when he died, she went and stayed with her sons. And she was like 80 something. So she did what she got to do. She made the best of the situation that she was in. I do think the familial connection between enslaved Black people and white folks is underexplored in film. The rare Black people who were free legally were usually blood related unofficially. Yeah, and we see the DNA results. Ancestry DNA talk about this all the time. Henry Louis Gates on Finding Your Roots talk about it all the time. Most white people got some Blackness in their blood because so many Black folks was passing. I probably would have done the same thing, honestly. Child, I don't know what I would have did, child. I can't say. It is a whole different world. I think about when people always talk about what they would have did, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We don't know what we would have did, how our mindset would work. Coming up where this is just the rules, we think about cultures, other cultures where it is just the rules. When you go to Muslim countries, where in this country, this is just the rules. You cover, you do this, you do that. This is just the rules, and it's the norm for them. It's like, I don't know what I would have did. I really don't know. But then you see people really going against the grain. You see trans people transitioning in the fucking 1800s. Trans people transitioning in the 1700s. Like literally, we was talking about Chevalier. One of my disappointments about the Chevalier movie is there was a big fight. So Chevalier was one of the nobles around the time that Maria Antoinette got killed, like when they got beheaded. The reason why they got beheaded is because of economics of the time. Like they were so extravagant and rich and doing just stupid, ridiculous money spending things while the poor people was fucking poor, not having enough food. And they putting gold statues and gold plated walls on the Palace of Versailles. Child, and if you ever get the chance to go to Paris and go to Versailles, you will see why those people got beheaded, because it is ridiculous. It is the first time in my life that something that I had heard about so much in my life was over what I thought. Usually when I finally see something that I have heard about all my life, it's usually smaller than I imagine. Like when I first went to the White House, it was smaller than what I pictured in my head. So it's usually every time I imagine something, it's small, and I see it in person, it's smaller than what I think. Palace of Versailles is the total opposite. Total opposite. It is the most ridiculously opulent thing that I have ever seen. Building, things in it. It is ridiculous. It is without. They should have got their head cut off. I cannot stress it enough. It's ridiculous. It's just the gardens were stupid. Like it was like, what? Y'all had people gardening these, y'all had people building these, y'all had people cutting these every year, all year. Y'all had people, what? It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I can't stress it enough. So they should have had the head cut off. Anyway, Chevalier, he was a mulatto. He was not supposed to be in this circle of people, but because he was such a good violinist and such a good composer, better than Mozart, but Mozart was white, so he was able to and be that nigga. But because Chevalier was Black, they would never let him. And one of the storylines is they wouldn't let him get to his peak because he was Black. So the racism stopped him from being the greatest, even though he was better than Mozart. So when the poor people were in that early stages of organizing against this monarch, he was going through his little bullshit where they were not letting him reach his peak. He wanted to be in the in crowd, in the nobles. He loved that he had Chevalier was the title, because there was other Chevaliers, was the title. He wanted to be in the crowd, but they never did. So he started to organize with the other people and started to do these events, these different events. And one of those events, he also was a fence master, like the swordsman's fencing. He was a switch. So not only was he a master composer, master violinist, he was also a master fencer, where he beat one of the grand masters, like at a very in his teens, he beat him. And so it was this big old thing. So which is one of the reasons why he became so, he was like a prodigy. He just was like an amazing talent. Especially as a Negro, like, ooh, he's a Negro and he's this amazing. So the white people was like, ooh, look. But when he was doing these different events, he actually did a fencing match with the premier trans woman of the time, another Chevalier, a nobleman who had transitioned to be a woman. And he was just like he was on the outside, she was on the outside of society too. But they didn't take their noble titles away. Do you see what I'm saying? So Chevalier Delon, okay, something. If you search trans woman during the French Revolution, you'll get Chevalier Delon, Delon, or something like that. But yeah, Chevalier, the black dude, he did a match with the trans woman, a fencing match, and they did it to raise funds. And one of the things that saved his life, because what people don't understand is they cut the king's head off, they cut the queen's head off, Maria Antoinette. And these people were teens. Maria was like 14, 15. These weren't adults like we think of adults. But they didn't just cut the king and queen and stuff heads off. They cut all the 5,000 of the nobles' heads off. Yeah. So they cut 5,000 of the nobles' heads off. So it wasn't like, oh my, when you know how now we talk about eat the rich, like we really need to destroy these rich people. The French people did it. That's why that stuff that's happening in France right now, they worried. Because French people wasn't playing. They cut out 5,000 heads of the fucking rich people. 5,000. Guillotine, hiya, chop. It's a chop, baby. And they locked Chevalier up, the black one, a noblesman. They locked him up and they had a trial for him to be able to decide if they were going to behead him. But because he was black and because he was doing work in the organization to try to overthrow them, he was spared. But at the last minute, because he was about to get his head chopped off too. But because he was black and he was one of the outliners of the noble group of the 5,000, they spared him. Yeah, because that was over some water. That was over that little water. That was in a whole, England and France was two different, you get what I'm saying? Two different vibes. They weren't really, they were always, always clashing, but you get what I'm saying? They were their own entities. They were European powers. I can't remember what happened to her. Let's look it up. I don't think so. It's Chevalier de Eon. So it's Chevalier, Chevalier, D-EON. Let's see. Let's see how she died. She was a spy, honey. Everything. No, she didn't get her head cut off. She had got wounded in a fight. She didn't get her head cut off. She was able to leave. So she was able to leave during the revolution. Because of her tea, they were trying to force her out of the military because she was in the military at first. And because of her tea, they didn't want to force her to be I'll have to really get into it to be able to explain it because it's a lot. She got a lot of tea. Y'all can. She got a Wikipedia and everything, so she got a lot of tea. Ooh, yeah, she got a lot of tea. But she didn't die with getting her head cut off. She had got paralyzed from a fall and spent the final 4 years of her life bedridden and dying in poverty in London on May 1810 at the age of 81. That's a good run. 81, child. Even though she had claimed to be born assigned female at birth, and she was trans. The surgeon that examined her body said that Chevalier had male organs in every aspect that it could be. But she also at the same time displayed feminine characteristics like breasts. A couple of characteristics described in the certificate was unusually roundness in the formation of limbs, as well as breasts remarkably full. So she had her titties, she had her piece and her titties, baby. Her body was buried in the churchyard um, in the Pancras Old Church, and DeLeon's remaining possession was sold to Christie's in 1813. DeLeon's grave is listed in the Burlesque Memorial there as one of the important graves lost. Yeah. So my thing was, I would have. They played in the movie. They said he had done this show to raise funds um for the revolution, but they could have showed him sparring with the trans woman, because that's what they had done their event for too. And so I was like, they're so in. That could have been the climax, like when he got arrested before the king and queen had got beheaded or whatever. If they would have showed him getting arrested and going through his trial, they could have ended the movie with him going through his trial and winning, because he won. He had won and didn't get beheaded. I don't know why they didn't end it with that. They ended it on some bullshit. It was like, what? They ended. Yeah, I don't want to kill it for y'all, but I think it's good enough to watch. But there's so much more they could have did with it in telling his story. There just was so much more, and I didn't understand why they didn't do it. Mm. But yeah, I think there's so much stories that we could be able to tell that I just don't feel like we. There's so many stories. Oh God, so many stories. I would love to hear about Francis Thompson. I would love to hear, um, I don't know, just more nuanced stories. But all right, y'all. I'm about to start watching some TV and let y'all go to sleep. Make sure y'all thumbs up, and I will see y'all later. All right, sweeties. Bye bye.